Another night game coming up, then a day game. But have a great night game with hopefully an incredible crowd, which we still have tickets available. So not sure how that's possible, but we do. So hopefully we could sell the rest of them. And if not sell the rest of them, hopefully the students will just come in mass droves. I think right now they're counting on 6,000 students. Maybe we'll have 10,000. And then we would be sold out. So hopefully we could be packed. A packed house would be really, really, really good for this game against a really good opponent who we spent the last 4 days watching. And as always, have a ton of respect for the job Coach Kelly has done, for the job Coach Lynn has done. And clearly it's a very, very good team we're about to play. We've had 2 good practices. We're healthy. We're ready to roll. Don't expect any injuries. Nothing's changed. Everybody's good to play. And maybe everyone will play. So we'll see what it all looks like, and we'll go from there. But certainly looking forward to this opportunity on Saturday evening to play what I believe is the 5th-ranked opponent in a row, and have a great homecoming. Rob Gronkowski is arriving this evening, doing some events, doing a fundraiser for NIL tomorrow at the Sands Club for lunch, which is a fantastic opportunity for our fans to interact with him and also be able to sit down and eat with him. NIL is a huge part of college football these days. And if the community needs to rally behind football programs when it comes to having success with NIL. So we will certainly take advantage of having a guy like Rob in town. Scooby Wright will be in town. He will also be at the Sands Club tomorrow and for the luncheon. And that too will be, those tickets can be bought online or at the door, I believe. And then we'll have some great guests throughout the whole homecoming weekend. I believe we have 227 football alumni returning for this game as of now that have requested tickets. So that's what we have going on. But our work is trying to figure out a way to block their pass rushers and to stop their offense.
All right, we'll start with Justin and then Michael.
Do you have a number of tickets sold? You know,
I don't. I think it was around like 44.6 or 44.3, something like that.
Okay. And then last year's win over UCLA, how much did that mean to the program at that time?
Yeah, well, it was number one. It was the only chance that we were going to be able to remain bowl eligible because we were 3-6 at the time. So we had to be able to get that win to then make the next week more important. And then unfortunately we didn't beat Washington State and beat the team up north to go 5-7. But that win was a huge win in terms of being able to stay alive in the playoff race, number one. Number two, they were number 9 in the country, I believe, at the time. I think they were 8-1 at the time, playing great football. For us to go on the road and play what at that time was probably our best game, showed our team that you can win and you can compete with the best teams in the pack, teams that have been building their program. Coach Kelly's been there since the end of 2017. So 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, that was his 5th year last year. So it showed our guys that we have the ability to compete with obviously an elite coach and an elite program.
And then thoughts on the Big 12 schedule that was released yesterday? Or Big 12 opponents, I should say. Yeah,
it looked like a good schedule. Didn't notice much different. For me, it's about playing UCLA this week. The rest of it really was good looking games in the future, but we got to focus in on the Pac-12 this year and let the Big 12 happen come the end of the season.
Michael and then Jay.
I think Brendan said that the UCLA defense has some big Fangio type tendencies or looks to it. Did you call up Coach Fangio and ask him how to attack?
No, I did not.
What are your impressions of this UCLA defense under Dean?
They've done a really, really nice job of mixing coverages and making it challenging, and they've got really good pass rushers. They're gonna, give you some illusions of certain coverages and then play something different. And you have to be prepared for that. Reminds me, a little bit of what we saw at Stanford. In terms of how they play, they also brought in a coordinator that was in the NFL for a bunch of years. I think they might have even crossed paths at the Jets. D'Anton, his dad was the head coach of the Chargers, and I think he was at the Jets for a long time as well. So they might have crossed paths there. I know he was there before he was at the Ravens. So it's a big, challenging defense that we certainly have to be at the top of our game offensively.
We'll go David and then Brian.
Jed, in terms of the confidence level of this team, does it rise when you beat back-to-back ranked teams, or does the confidence level kind of stay on it despite?
No, I'd say confidence level always rises when you win. You always feel that the process is working. You feel like, hey, now that doesn't mean that confidence falls if you don't win. But when you do win, there's always a little bit more, excitement around the building, a little bit more. I can't wait to get back out there and practice. If you're excited about practicing, you're going to practice better. If you practice better, you're going to play better. It kind of all works together. And everybody likes to have more points than the other team. So you're going to have that feeling of you can, puff your chest out a little bit more when you come back with a couple wins. But I believe that we had confidence after the USC game also, and we didn't win. But I felt like you have confidence when you go against a team that's built the way they're built with the personnel that they have, and you go into triple overtime and knowing you're a 2-point play away in the second overtime, or a stop away in the second overtime, or whatever it might have been from winning that game. That gives you confidence as well.
And you ran the option play there down at the goal line with Noah.
Yep.
You and Brent seemed to be particularly jacked after that. Was it just the success of that play? Was that one of those things maybe you were holding on to, and that was the right time to pull that out?
No, I think we were excited because we wound up knowing that now we're in first and goal on the 2. And that was a huge play in the game, because if we didn't get it, that would have been a decision that you guys would have second guessed a million times. If it was 4th and 1 on the 4, now you got to decide, are you going to kick a field goal and go up 23-17, and then you guys would write that we would lose if we let up a touchdown, or if you don't get it, then you would be in a situation where you'd be going for it on 4th and 1, and you got a lot of situations going on right there. So I was really just thinking about all of you guys when I was celebrating.
Brian and then Jason.
When referring to UCLA last year, you mentioned full eligibility. Has that been discussed at all about this year with the team? Or do you want to keep that in mind that this is just another game?
No, I don't know. I don't subscribe to the coach speak, really. I just like to tell it honestly. And heck, we win, we go to a bowl, and why would I not talk about that? I don't know. I don't know that whole thing of don't talk about that or don't. I don't know. I don't believe in that. I believe in, hey, it's right in front of us. Go take it if you can do it. And let's do everything we can to do it and see what it looks like.
Jason and then Jed.
Did you notice any difference in some of your players' approach when you play at LA schools, specifically the LA players?
Yeah, that's interesting. It was brought up, when we played San Diego State, playing in San Diego, there were a lot from there. Obviously, we played some really good games against the LA schools. I would say I don't notice it in terms of the week. Like, it doesn't feel different to me, but I wouldn't be surprised if they felt different, if they had a little bit different feeling going into certain games. You always try for that not to be the case. You want every game to be a championship opportunity. I hope that we play as well as we did going to Pullman. I hope we played well as we did playing against Oregon State. But I do think that when you have so many players from Southern California, specifically LA, there is a certain attention that those schools grab from our guys.
Jay and then Michael.
Are you a what if kind of person? Is it what if we didn't play so bad in the first quarter of Mississippi State? What if something else went different in the USC game? Would that work? 7-1 right now instead of 5.
No, because everybody could do that. You could also say, what if they didn't fumble the ball on the 1 yard line against Mississippi State in the opening drive, and then they're up 7-0? You could say, what if USC makes the field goal at the end? You could say, what if we make the field goal? I don't know. No, there's so many plays in a game. No, I don't do that at all. Otherwise, you'll be playing that game for every game you've ever coached and point to 25 different plays. The problem is that everybody thinks if you do something different, then it would have worked. So it's like, if you choose to go for 2, then you would get it if you did it to start the overtime rather than in the second overtime. Or if Cal went for 2, didn't get it. But if they kicked an extra point, everyone would have said you should have gone for 2 to be able to get the win. So I think that the what if game it's an imperfect game that we play. And it's an impossible game to do that with, because there's 135 what ifs in every game.
Michael.
There was no sort of formal declaration of a change in quarterback, but there has been a change in quarterback. I wonder how Jaden Delora has just handled all of this.
Yeah, so far the only thing that I would know is that Noah has started the last 4 games. That's the only change that's occurred. So Jaden was 3-1 the first 4 games of the season. Hopefully Noah's 2-2 at his games, and now we're sitting here and we're going to continue to figure out each week who we want to play. And I would say that Jaden and Noah have handled it fantastically well in a very tough situation. And they have continued to support one another, root for one another, share reps at practice, coach one another up, look at, hey, did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see this? Did you see that? I would have gone here. Would you have gone there? They both have managed to take care of their business off the field. They're doing great in school. They're sitting there in a spot right now where, they're both preparing like the starter every single week. And that is what their job should be. And I just tell them that at 7:35, I'll let them know who's going to take the first snap.
All right, that's our time.